I'd like to share with you today a very amazing tool to help you share the gospel. And it's really what I think is one of the key things, and that is being in relationship with God. If you're in relationship with God, you will quickly learn that He loves those people. He wants to save people more than you want to save people, more than I want to save people. You see, the whole aspect is that God so loved, and He just loves me. He doesn't work on me like beating me up for the things that I do wrong. I mean, have any of you ever been like driving and you like cut somebody off and a person yells out their window like, "Hey, you need to go back to driving school," and you were like, "Yeah, that's what I should do. I should go back to driving school." That's not typically our response to that, you know. Maybe our response is not always Christian-based, but but see, God works through love. He teaches me and guides me, and so it's about being in relationships. See, God so loved that He gave. See, Jesus came to die for us. And so thinking about that, we're called to be like Jesus, and we're learning to be like the Father. So then it became a challenge to me, like, how do I love? How do I give? See, and then how do you love others? How do you give? It's about communication with God. That's how we're in relationship with God. You know, I know C-3PO is fluent in 10 million forms of communication or something. I mean, you know, God is really fluent in more than C-3PO. He's got a little more tricks up his sleeve. And so a couple of ways that I communicate with God mostly is through His voice. Maybe I hear Him in my head, or maybe He guides me. He says things to me or in my head, usually things that my flesh doesn't want to do, but are things I should do or want and need to do. And so it's become a learning process, and as I pray and learn and hear His voice, I can hear His voice more and learn more. But I know He also speaks to people in dreams. Sometimes He'll use dreams to speak to people. Sometimes He'll use other people to talk to other people. Sometimes He'll use a song to speak to you. My wife, one of the best ways she communicates with God is through nature. And so while I can't list every way that God communicates, because God communicates in so many ways, I just want to encourage you to be open to God and let Him communicate with you. It's in that fellowship and in that relationship that it'll be a great tool, because He loves those people that He gave so that whosoever. See, that's the question, whosoever. Who's the whosoever in your life? Who's the whosoever in your world? See, God came so that whosoever believeth can be saved. So that's a real challenge to me, like, what do I see? Do I ask God for opportunities? If I love people, if I'm willing to give for people, wouldn't I look for opportunities to be like, who is my whosoever in my world? Whosoever today, Lord, do you want me to share with? Whosoever in my life, who in my family, in my work. And so I just want to challenge you to really ask God, like, God, who is my what's whosoever? I want to share the gospel. I want to be like you. See, God so loved that He gave so that whosoever.